Peace,
What's
everybody.
happening to the multiverse out there, man? Couples in mental health. Share the bed with the one you love.
Nobody's here right now, but that's okay. We're here. We're
Nah, but
hanging out.
we still gotta announce the
No, I know. I was about to add on to that of your
Oh,
announcement.
oh, okay, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Jeez. Clearly, we didn't practice cue cards, you guys. Clearly, we didn't practice
No, we
cue
didn't,
cards.
we didn't, we didn't.
But yeah, we are. Hey, Emily, how
Let
you
me see.
feeling,
I'm gonna
honey?
fight to get you in.
Could you make Emily a moderator? 'Cause aren't you a manager mod?
Um, I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna try to make you a moderator, baby.
Why you?
Add moderator. Go down. Down, down, down. No, one more. You're skipping it. It's right there.
What?
Add
Oh,
moderator.
I thought it scroll.
Not managing. Standard.
Huh? Oh.
Standard. Sorry, babe. There we go. Catch it, baby. Now we're hanging out. We ain't doing nothing. We were just sitting here. You know, we tend to sit here and build on some things, and then sometimes we're like, oh, we should go live and maybe share some stuff with some people
Yeah.
instead of keeping it to ourselves. I'm still sick, so I apologize, you guys, if I'm coughing. I'm gonna try not to cough. You're welcome, baby. I'm gonna try not to cough in your guys' ear and stuff like that, but my throat is still real dry from this sickness that I'm under. Who just? Oh,
That's me. I put that in
I
there.
see you.
Put that in there. I put that in there. Peace,
Yeah.
everybody. Peace, everybody.
Yeah, but we were really sitting here building on what I've talked about it before with my therapist. When I went through DBT therapy, it was like something that we've touched on and we went through a little bit. I believe when you were going when you were with your therapist, did you talk about you talked about imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I definitely talked about it with my therapist.
Yeah,
too.
so
I
and
talked
he
about
had a
imposter.
conversation with his therapist about it, and it's imposter syndrome and what imposter syndrome is and what it looks like for people and how it can really hinder you and it can stop your growth when you really like have the skills and the drive to grow.
Right.
And so that's like kind of something that we were talking about. We've both experienced it separately.
Right.
It's of course affected us jointly, but we've experienced it separately.
First we should go like explain what is imposter syndrome. So
Yeah,
what is it? I think your definition is better though.
So okay, for me,
your definition is better. You
okay,
got a better
so for
definition,
me,
right?
imposter syndrome. When you're dealing with imposter syndrome, and it can happen to anybody, from any creed, any make, anywhere, is the fact that like that you have the intelligence and you have what it takes to do something sufficiently and be successful at it, but you feel like you're unworthy of it, or somehow they're gonna find out that you're not good enough for it, and they're gonna like that you're gonna be shamed for it. They're gonna say, okay, you can't do that, even though you have all the skills to do it. You feel like your upbringing or where you came from, you might have came from an abusive relationship, or you might have came from an abusive job, or whatever it is, and you have that shame there, and so you're afraid they're gonna find your shame out.
Right.
And
Okay. All right. So my definition of imposter syndrome is you're feeling as if you're unworthy of the accomplishments or the titles that you have. Like a lot of times people will get in position and then they feel as if like, ah man, I don't deserve this position, man. Why how did I get this position? And they work so hard because they don't want to lose it. And they overwork themselves because they don't want to lose it.
They can never do enough.
They can never do enough.
And I can relate to that though, because like in my prior career, that was me, right? Like I was in the hamster. Right, I was in the hamster role.
Emily, right? She said the fear of not being successful and failing.
Yeah, and
Maddie.
And to be honest, like in like in my prior career, I was in the hamster wheel
of
the fact that I could never work hard enough, and like I was getting the accolades for what I was doing, and I was moving up, and I was getting all of those things, but I never felt like I could work hard enough. I never felt like I was good enough for like these positions I was put in, and therefore every day I was under stress. The fact that somebody was going to find me out, like they were going to find out the fact that they gave the job to the wrong person, that that I wasn't worthy of that job, and it really put a lot of stress on me.
Yeah, it'll eat you alive because like I had delved into the
it is Black History Month,
computer
huh?
technique, yeah,
almost
for sure, Maddie.
Yeah,
Thanks,
baby.
Maddie. but I had got into the computer tech field, right? And the computer tech field is like a certain like type of people or a certain demographic of people. So it's like I felt as if like, okay, I didn't belong or I couldn't fit in with these people and stuff, and eventually they're gonna find out that I'm not like a computer smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gave me in every interview and every type of accomplishment I made, or like step that I
Every
try to take, yeah,
accolade, yeah.
accolade, guy just like,
Gave you more anxiety,
man, gave me
right?
more
It
anxiety.
did
Yeah,
make you
right,
feel
gave me
more
more anxiety.
successful.
It
The
made me feel
the
more
majority of
successful.
the people will feel more successful as they climb the ladder of a company. They feel more successful. But people that suffer from imposter syndrome, it creates more anxiety around each step of the fact that, okay, I got more to lose. Now I
Right,
got more to lose. Now I got more to lose. As soon as they find me out, if your boss says, "Hey, I want to take you to lunch today,"
right.
unexpectedly, you weren't
And then
expecting that. Then it's like,
first
oh
thing come to your
shit, I'm
mind
getting
is, I'm
fired.
getting fired.
Yeah, oh shit, they fired me. What am I gonna do? Like, I got
Get
kids in
fired
college. I
today.
got this. I got that.
Get fired today.
But
Yeah, it's
like that's the
crazy.
first thing that comes to your head is you did something wrong versus
Yeah,
the
it's
fact that they
crazy.
might tell you that you did something great, right? Like,
Yeah.
or they might just want to touch base just to make sure that everything is like on par for like the like
Hmm.
the business plan that you have for the quarter or whatever it is. But you
Yeah.
automatically go into that, and you're like throwing up before you go to the lunch because you
But
think.
imposter syndrome is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
and people suffer from it, and especially people who are like very successful, and they just don't know how to deal with success. Especially if somebody like you, if you come from a background to where it's not success is not a customary. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You don't got a successful dad. You don't got a
Right.
successful mom. You don't got everybody around
Like
you
your
that's,
family wasn't, you're not
yeah,
coming from, like you're not coming from that wealth or
yeah.
that strong educational background
and
or
you
that those
and you're
strong
the only
backgrounds.
one like that's just stepping outside of the box, and you
Mm-hmm.
you just accomplish a whole bunch
Yeah.
of stuff, and then you'll feel like, dang man, how am I the one like that made it out, and how am I the one that
Why am
figured
I,
out the
yeah, how
stuff?
did I, but I also, to be honest with you, not only have I professionally suffered from imposter syndrome, but I've in my relationship I've suffered from imposter syndrome too. And so, like that's like a twofold to where you're at work
Mhm.
and you're suffering from imposter syndrome, but then you come home and you're suffering from imposter syndrome, and like you feel like when is the jig going to be up, and when you get
Ooh,
in. And so
also that's a
I've
whole nother
suffered, but
thing,
I've
because
suffered from imposter
that's
syndrome
a
in
whole nother
both
thing.
aspects. Right? It
That's a
is a
whole
whole
nother
nother
thing
thing.
right there. Because you got imposter
Shoot.
syndrome at work, and
And then
then you
coming
can
home and
have
feeling
imposter syndrome at home
as a
also.
parent, but not even just in a relationship like with you, like as my spouse, but like as a parent, I've suffered from imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
As a sister, even like like as a sister, as an aunt, as a, like all these things within like family dynamics and stuff, I've suffered from imposter syndrome as well.
Well, I say Emily got a post. Let me show
Let me
you.
see
Say
that.
what Emily said.
Yep.
Emily said, "I've been in that position before, and the thought of, dang, I'm getting fired, or what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't struggle with it as much as now. I've learned that it's okay to fail and not put
That's true.
pressure on myself."
That's an
Yeah,
amazing thing to know, and
yeah.
I'm learning that too. And like in the new endeavors that I'm in more control over like
Hmm.
what it is that I'm doing, and like what positions I'm putting myself in. So
Right.
I feel like I have more control over it. So I suffer from it less than
Hmm.
when I was under like in a corporate umbrella. And like as my relationships get, like as I become more stable and I learn skills of myself, my relationship comes stronger.
Right.
So I'm able to come out of that imposter syndrome. But I've definitely can relate to all of those things because I've suffered it from many different
Yeah, like
aspects.
it's hard though when you coming from when you have a family that's just not really, like say, successful. You know what I mean? You just
Hmm.
come from just an average family, just people just work and stuff like that. They not extracurricular college, this multiple degrees and
Right.
stuff like that. And all that type of stuff and
Or if you come from a
business and
family full
stuff.
of trauma, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden you're the one that's successful, like successful in, the
yeah,
fact that you're doing more than the
yeah,
most,
yeah, yeah,
that that they're not used to. They tend to, they tend to be jaded a little bit at you
yeah, yeah,
for that, and
because
they look at you a certain way, and then you feel it like you're an imposter, and so you have a hard time fitting in anywhere because you no longer fit in with the trauma filled family,
right.
and then you feel like you're being an imposter on what it is that you're doing.
Hey, that's the thing too, because because someone has been raised a certain type of way,
Hmm.
then they can think it's customary to be down low. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be that type of
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
So then when they look at the other sibling as trying to raise out of it, they could look at the other
That
sibling
they're,
like,
you think you're
oh
better than
man,
me.
you
You
think you
think
better
this.
than everybody
Right.
else, or you think you this, and really making that other sibling feel like an imposter.
Right. Absolutely. And this is like going back to, like our oldest child, because she had it the worst, to where she, tend to hang out low, like lower than her, or, like
Hmm.
people not lower, people less fortunate than she was. Right. And she could never quite fit in her
Hmm.
environments that she was in. And I used to always try to explain, if you remember, like, you're not like them, that, like, these people are going through this certain kind of struggle
Yeah.
that you'll never experience in your life, because
Right.
your parents work hard to make sure you'll never experience that.
Right.
So you are always going to be the outsider with them.
She going
And
through the
she was the
imposter. She was the
she was
imposter.
the imposter, trying
Yeah.
to hang out with people
Facts.
that were less fortunate than she was, because she thought it was cool and it was fun
Facts.
because the
Facts.
rap
Facts.
video was
Yeah.
set
She was.
it and all of
Uh huh.
that. But she
Yep.
never could fit in, and she always had a problem because she wasn't gauging herself well, and she wasn't putting.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever had a kid or a sibling that that dealt with imposter syndrome, where they did like like our daughter, she wanted to relate to people who were in
Less
less
fortunate.
fortunate circumstances than her. So she she gravitated toward them people, but at the same time, it's like oil and water. The people that she goes around, they see that,
She's not
man,
like that.
you ain't in the same situation than us. You
You
don't
can't
have
relate.
to, you
You're over
can't
here
relate to
looking at
what
us like
this.
a spectator sport.
Yeah, you looking at us like spectators, so they
You,
always treated her bad. You know what I
and she
mean?
could never understand why, but I
And
really try to
it's
explain.
because she was an imposter amongst those those other
And
people.
she realizes that now, but it took a long time, for many years, like it took many years for her to kind of get the fact that, okay, that's your entertainment because you think it's fun, because they live this party life, or like this free, like lawless, we'll say lawless life, right? Like like people
Hmm.
tend to live more of a lawless life than the average American. And she thought that was fun,
Right,
until, like, all of a sudden it's not, like, that's not, because
right.
you're never going to fit into that, because that's not how you
No,
were raised. You were raised,
no, you're
like, with
right.
structure, and you were raised with the fact that you've never hurt for anything. She ain't never woke up a day, if her stomach growled, she just had to go to the kitchen to get something to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if she had to decide what pair of shoes she was putting on her feet in the morning. Some kids had to damn borrow their cousin's shoes or their
And
mama's shoes to get to school.
yeah, see, and these types of things that we gotta recognize about
Yeah.
ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always, whether we want to admit it or not, it's always classes. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
always classes. And if you try to fit yourself into a class that you don't belong into or you can't adapt to, you gonna feel that imposter syndrome.
That's the thing,
That
though.
probably was
But
my thing though,
yeah, but
because
that's
I
the
couldn't
thing. But
adapt
adapting, or
to that.
belong. You belong if you can adapt,
You can
right? Like, if
belong
you
if
can
you can
adapt,
adapt, right? Because
to
I couldn't.
whatever the situation. If you can adapt and you can become part of that environment,
Yeah,
then you can
yeah.
belong. But if you can't adapt
I
to it,
couldn't
then you don't
adapt.
have no
That's
business being there.
because when I was in that computer tech field, right, and I just felt like the way those guys and stuff, the way they be
With
moving
hate,
and stuff, it's just like, man, I feel like it was real. It was phony Hollywood. If y'all understand what I'm saying, it's like phony Hollywood, and it was like a real big show, and I couldn't adapt to it. I feel like they wasn't authentic as they was supposed to be, and man, it was really hard for me.
yeah,
It was hard for
yeah,
me
it was
for that
hard.
for that
I know
reason.
it
For
was.
that
I
reason, you
know it
know what
was
I'm
hard.
saying?
And Emily,
Now that I think about it, yeah,
and
yeah.
Emily, you're right. Like, I can relate to that, because our classes, like our societal norms are very different, mine and reasons, and I've struggled with that, like with him. And like people have
Mm-hmm.
stereotypes of, like what, like, okay, the black man must have had the hard life, and the, the white girl, like must have had the easy life, or whatever it is. Not to say
Uh,
that you had an easy life, but he had a more structured life, and a more, like he came
mm-hmm.
from a much more structured family that,
Oh, see, yeah, that's a misconception right there. That
yeah,
a lot of people think like I was raised more structured than my wife was,
right.
and people look at our look at me on face value and her on face value. They be like, oh, well, she was raised in
And
a nice
yeah.
household with structure and stuff like that. But nah, that was she experienced homelessness. I never experienced homelessness. You know what I'm saying? My mom always,
Make sure
you
you have somewhere
know,
to live.
maybe sure we always had somewhere to live. She didn't have I didn't have my dad around, but at the same time, shoot, I always had.
But my dad chose not to be there, and your dad chose to be there when he had the chance to be there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he didn't ditch and dodge you because he had another family.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
another.
Oh, that's a whole
That,
nother
yeah, that's a whole
room.
other. But it's just
Well,
certain
that's another
things though.
thing though.
But it's
Not
just
bad though.
certain
I love
things.
my dad. My dad official.
But yeah, I love him too. But it's just certain things that, like with our family, I still struggle with imposter syndrome a little bit sometime with. Oh, you just went off
Oh,
a little bit sometimes with his family and stuff, and they love me, and they're great. I love his family. Um, I don't have a big family, so it's nice that he has a bigger family and stuff like that. They're
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah, yeah,
kind,
yeah. For sure,
amazing
for sure.
people, and it's nice to feel. But sometimes I do feel out of place because of, like my less fortunate, like upbringing and stuff. I'm a little harsher than they are. They're very much more polished than me. We'll just say. You know where I'm harsh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's just, but yeah, it's different because like we kind of raised like a lot of around elders and stuff like
Right,
that.
and I don't
So
have that.
the
Yeah.
elders and older people and
Our
stuff.
the
So
kids the kids were, the foundation of the
so
family.
everybody,
We was raising each other. Like we was raising each other. You weren't raised like that. You
yeah. So
kids
like with
had
elders and
people.
stuff, you just don't be you like you don't be cursing around your auntie or your mom or nothing like
And
that.
me, I'll cuss them out. If I have to cuss somebody out, they going. I don't care who
Oh
it is.
shit.
When me and him first got together, I got a telephone story. When me and him first got together, my mom was talking crap. She was talking crap. I was at her house too. I was at her house, and I was getting myself some lunch. I think I was like on lunch at work or something. And she was just talking the most shit about me and him, like starting this relationship because I was just coming out of a bad marriage. And she was just telling me how much he was using me, and I'm like, I ain't got shit. Like my husband, like my ex husband, he took everything. Like I ain't got shit. I'm down in the, like my ass is down in the dirt. And
Yeah.
she made me so mad. I pulled this Jello out of the fridge. I was about to eat it, and she made me so mad. I chucked like those little Jello things. I chucked that thing out of her hand. She was like, I was like, now shut the fuck up. She was like, her eyes were so big, and I shouldn't have done that. And I feel bad now. I would never do that now. But at that moment, like I forgot who she was because she just was talking the most crap. And you
Mm,
always keep yourself in the row. You never forget who somebody is. But I had forgotten that moment because
yeah.
she was like making me feel so horrible about me starting this relationship with you. Like
Yeah,
that Jello flu.
I think you know what. Okay, now that you say that, I can kind of see that, like, oh, what that mean, right? All right, it's easy to keep it in the road or keep it structured when the adult also knows their lane.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like, our adults and our elders and stuff
I
like
agree,
inside of
Emily.
my family, you know what I'm saying? They know they lane, you know what I mean? So they don't be doing bogus shit like that. They don't be trying
Yeah,
to
she was like, yeah, she was just
and all
riding me, and
that.
you
They
gotta think, like,
don't.
I was coming out of this long term abusive marriage. I found this
Mm,
dude that actually gave me some sunshine in my life. That was like, nah, you need better than this. He was like giving me he was giving me some hope at that moment because at that moment I was hopeless. I done lost my house. I done lost my job over this dude, my
mm.
house,
Long
my
time ago.
everything. Yeah, this was
It's a
over
long time ago. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
decades ago now at this point.
Yeah.
But it was just like I was like so hopeless, and I met this dude, and it all started with the fact that he told me he wanted me to smile that day. And it started from there, and he gave me hope at that moment, and my mom was trying to take it from me, and I was so pissed at that lady. I didn't know what to do. I just chucked and I every time I see Jello now, like
Was this for fruit cocktails or some
it was the
shit?
little, like the Jello, like you know
Jello
how Odie
fruit.
used to
Yeah,
put it.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like the little Jello. My mom always been eating those for years, and she had that thing in the fridge. And that thing, oh, I was just so mad at her, and because I didn't want to hurt her, like I wouldn't have put my hands on her, but I had to let her know. I just chucked that Jello right at her. She was like, I was
But
like, yeah. And
it's
now, wait, hold on, I gotta say. But
okay.
now, when she get mad at all her kids, she says she only got one child, and the only one child that she has is this one right here. Like, and he can tell
Hey,
her
that's
about
real
herself.
shit.
Look,
I swear to
this
God.
man can tell my
I'm the
mama
only.
about herself. He will. He does. Like if she doing the wrong thing, he gonna tell her, and she gonna take it, and she never
I
gets mad
swear
at
to
him.
God.
And he's the only
I'm the
child.
only child.
We've all been disowned, and the only person that didn't get disowned was
But
him.
listen, but listen, I'm the only child on her side of the family, not on my side of the
Right.
family.
You're the only child
On the
sometime
only
over there
side
on your
of
side too. He the golden child. See, I don't know if you guys know what the golden child is, but that's that guy that like is the best out of everybody, can do no wrong. He the golden child on both sides of the family. Like he's an
Hey,
overachiever.
as well. I don't even know what happened. I don't
He
even
the
know what I
golden
be
child.
doing. I don't know how I become the golden child. But look, I'm gonna tell y'all another funny story, right? So I went over to my mom's house yesterday,
No, a couple days
a
ago.
couple days ago, right, to
Yeah.
take my son over there. So he like, man, put me on the Wi-Fi before you go and stuff. Don't put me on the Wi-Fi on the tablet. So I get the tablet. So I like I go to my mom like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? So she give me the little Wi-Fi little magnet and stuff on the refrigerator. It's my first last name, my birthday,
Golden child. Golden child. That's the golden child.
everything. Golden
He
child,
the golden
baby.
child.
Golden child, baby. I'm talking about I got
Yeah.
everything on there.
That's the golden
But
child.
I don't know. I just I just try to be a good person.
You're.
I just try to be a good person. That's
But
all I
Emily,
do.
yeah, but his family is much more polished than mine. My sister, I love her. My older sister, I love her to death. She's a hypochondriac, and
Oh,
like
oh, you
so.
say the little guy gets treated like the golden
He
child,
is.
huh?
Our little guy's the golden
No, she
child
talking about
too.
hers,
Yeah,
right?
I know. I said, yeah, I can understand
Oh,
that.
you talking about us?
No, she's talking about her little guy.
You
Their
talking about her
little
little
guy
guy,
is the
right?
golden child. Yeah, their little guy. But our little guy's the golden child too. We got the other two that are not
Oh, she
Einsteins.
talking about. You remember the first time she ran around Caden families? I was so nervous
Yeah,
because they are way
and
more polished,
polished.
very proper.
Me too. I still
I
get
was not
nervous
used to
sometimes.
it. I
Yeah,
remember
I still
taking
get nervous
3
sometimes though.
hours just to choose an outfit.
Yeah, and but I'm still like that in some
Hey,
circumstances. In some
hey, Emily,
circumstances, I'm still
they
like
had you on
that.
pins and needles, huh, Emily?
Yeah, but I still get like that on certain
I'm
events and
sorry.
stuff like
I
that.
ain't laughing at you, Emily. I'm laughing with you, though. It's just crazy.
But I'm like that too on certain
Yeah, she like
events.
that too.
I have to know like 3 days ahead of time what I'm gonna wear because I can't pick it out that day. I'll be
And then I just be rolling
and
up.
he'd be like, "Come on, what's up? Let's go." And I'll be like, "Wait, hold on. I gotta
But
make
see,
sure that."
this is why I'm the golden child. Because I just be rolling up and I don't care nothing about that
Yeah,
stuff.
but little guy is the golden child. Oh, he's the golden child. I was gonna say that's what I was just about to ask you, Emily. If he was the golden, I could tell that about him. He's definitely the
Hey,
golden child. He's
hey,
the
Caden the golden child, Emily.
Caden the golden child too. I can definitely see that. Yeah. So he's the golden child, and then the next golden
Hey,
child is
Pam.
our little
What's
baby.
up,
Hey,
Pam?
Pammy. We're
What's
just sitting
up,
here shooting the
Pammy?
breeze about not expectations. What are we shooting the breeze about? Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
We shooting the breeze about imposter syndrome. You know something about that?
And how in our family, like how I
And
suffer from imposter syndrome at
because
work.
she didn't know that she married the golden child.
Yeah, he the golden child.
It's not
Everybody
her
in our
fault.
family on both sides tell him he the golden child.
It's not her fault.
Look, there ain't one person on my side of the family that he knows that don't love him, like that don't know that like that he is the man, and they love me in a different kind of way. But like,
They love me though, the golden
yeah,
child.
it's ridiculous. It's kind of sickening sometimes, to be honest with you. But I'm glad that my family loves him. Like my siblings love him, like they are, like he is their actual sibling.
I just try to do the right thing with life, you know what I'm saying? So people tend to treat me fairly, you
Well,
know.
you do the right thing by us, and you're a protector. You're like you look out for your
Yeah.
family. So,
Yeah, I
but
try to
yeah,
treat people fair too. I'm a loving person. I'm a very considerate person. And I like to look out for family, so
yeah. But when we
people
got disowned
recognize
on
that.
Facebook, it was so funny because my mama disowned us. She was so mad at all of us.
Oh, that
She
day.
had disowned us all on Facebook, right? Like I only have one child left, and so there was like because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of siblings, right? There's 8 of us, and so there was a lot of phone calls going around. Like, okay, who you think is the who you think got left in the in the running? Who is it? And it's like, oh no, it's me. She ain't mad at me. We were all sitting there taking the bet on who it was, and then all of a sudden she posts the fact that it's him. So it was none of her children that she gave
It
birth
was
to. It was him.
it was me. I
And
was
he had
voting.
just told her off about herself. He had just told her something like she was being crazy. He had
She was
just
being
told her.
crazy. I told her about herself.
Yeah, and
But I turned out to be the
so she
golden
mad at
child.
us and she disowned us because he tell her about herself and then he the only child that she have left.
I can't help
And the
it.
thing is that she always says, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave everything I got to the one child I got, but she only got like 10 dogs, so he ain't really winning.
She said Caden is majority the golden child.
Yeah.
Though he does no wrong. Ever.
Right. Don't you hate
And
that though?
siblings get mad.
Yeah, I bet they do. I bet
She
they
said I
do.
laugh at how left now because it was crazy now. I show up in sweatpants around them
Now
and
you feel
don't
so
get as
comfortable. That's
nervous.
great. Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. You done got
You're
past it.
supposed to be able to be who you are.
Yeah, but it's a lot of
You're
that
supposed to be
stuff
able to
is
be
just
who
a
you are.
fluff on the outside because this is the thing, the truth, I'm gonna tell y'all the true honest facts about it. Like when it comes to people in classes, right? You know, the only thing that separates people is like money and like opportunities and stuff like that. But ultimately, everybody's the same.
We are the
You
same.
know what I'm saying? Like
We all put our pants on the
you
same way.
the same way. Like you may make this much money a year, but you got this problem. This person make this much money around this year, but they got the same exact problem that you got. You know what I'm saying? They just make more money than you, or they
Yeah.
just know how to talk differently than you. They live in a different neighborhood than you. So all those type of things,
That's all that it really is.
that's really the only true difference
Mm-hmm.
maker is just like where somebody live
Yeah.
and the amount of money they make that put them in a different class.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, we
Yeah.
all the same, man.
But it's like so overall though, it's like, it's something I struggle with it daily, like I have my, like the things that I'm doing to be productive. And
Oh,
probably
she's talking
once
about something that Caden pointed out to you. If he pointed it out to you, then that's the
yeah,
truth.
yeah, he got a good head on his shoulders. But I'll tell myself like some days I'll get frustrated as I'm like doing some work, and I'll get frustrated and be like, I ain't even qualified to do this shit in the first place, knowing that I'm overly qualified for what I'm doing. I'm doing
Right.
something so so this much, but I be
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't even do this, and it's just like I just want to tell myself like I want to throw in the towel and tell myself because of
It's
no other reason other than the fact that I was just shaming myself because
mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything else to think about. Maybe I don't know. Like like I don't know why the shame came, but it would just come out of nowhere, and I'll just
Right.
shame myself. Like I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm not going to be successful in this anyway,
Right.
and it's farther from the truth. Like it's far from the truth,
Yeah.
but it's just
But we are, but
it's
when it
funny.
comes to that though, imposter syndrome, we just striving to point out that we're our own biggest enemies.
We are.
In light of everything, we definitely gonna try to make some jokes about it and try to make light of it. But we're our own biggest enemies when it comes to our success and failures and stuff like that. And we just have to recognize that and get out of our own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of our own way.
Yeah, you got to get the hell out. It's not even just get out.
You
Get
gotta
the
get
hell
the
out.
hell out your own
Look, I
way.
know I'm my biggest bulldozer. Like I'll bulldoze the hell out of myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll wake up feeling good, like I could conquer the world, and then by an hour later, I bulldoze myself down to the ground.
It's
So
over with.
yeah, it's over with.
All this
It's
shit.
it.
It's nothing.
So I had therapy earlier today, and I was talking
Mm-hmm.
to my therapist, and she's like, "How you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling real good." I said, "But like I'm fighting real hard right now not to tear shit up." And then she kind of started laughing, And she said, "Tell me more about that." And I said, "Well, like right now we ain't got no problems. Like yeah, things could be like better in certain aspects, but we ain't got no
Mm-hmm.
problems." I said, "So I'm fighting real hard not to be the problem, and to uncover the hidden gem under the stone that's gonna give me the all the answers to all the problems and all the things I didn't know." I said, "So I've been trying to keep myself busy." She just started laughing. She said, "All you can do is redirect. Like you
Right.
just have to keep redirecting." I said, "I know, but that's not fun. Sometimes,
Facts. Facts.
like
Facts. Yeah.
sometimes, like you need that adrenaline."
Yeah.
And so it was funny because she
I
was kind
think
of
on the
chuckled at
on
it.
the, to piggyback on that though, but from what I've learned, with you and just
Hmm.
dealing with mania and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna search out the rush
Yeah.
until it happens.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's gonna
Right.
search out the rush in different areas and stuff
Until
until
it.
it happens. I wish it was a way to harness it to like get it to go and make it pop, and then you
You
know what
get
I'm
rid of
saying.
it.
Try to
Yeah.
get you to punch bags and shit.
Yeah,
But
right.
your ass,
But
you
no,
lazy ass, you
I
ain't want
need
to do
no,
the
I
shit.
need freaking I need like instant gratification of
Yeah, this
no,
big
I
and
need
punching the
instant
bags.
gratification of like fireworks, right? Like the
Yeah.
house, I just burnt the house down. Shit, I just blew the house out. I'm like, oh shit, the house just blew up. I'm like, yes, shit just blew up. Nobody's dead,
That's everything,
right?
man. Yeah, hey, man, y'all give us a like, give us a
Yeah,
subscribe,
we
man. We
finna wrap it
appreciate
up
all
too,
y'all
though.
in here. You know what I'm saying? Whenever
Yeah.
we do wrap it up, I'm just
Oh
saying,
yeah.
though, give us a like and subscribe,
Yeah.
everybody in the house.
Yeah,
You
but
know
yeah,
what
we
I'm
appreciate the
saying?
support. I need to use.
You too.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Keep it going. I don't like the way that you have this phone right there though, because I keep on looking at it.
I'm sorry for your mother. Sorry for your mother. I say sometimes you feel that. Well, yeah, I guess, or I guess you talking about like the overload. Well, yeah, that's kind of like one of the symptoms of mania. You know what I mean? It's like it seeks out the rush, and it's nothing that's gonna suffice the rush until you actually get it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the explosion or the release or something like that. So I wish it was a way we can like harness it and try to get the person to it or whatever. Get myself to it. Hell, when I'm having those type of feelings or experience, get myself to it so I can just, push get to it and push past it and stuff. Because when you allow it to like explode on its own, when it explodes on its own, that shit turn out bad. I ain't gonna say bad, but it don't turn out really good. It depends on if you got a support system or if you got someone there to actually help guide you through it. But it could turn out pretty bad though. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that explosion though. But we've been working through that though.
I'm
Trying to
getting
figure out a
better.
way to get
I'm
through,
getting
get
better.
to deal with it.
I'm getting
Yeah,
better.
yeah, actually not that bad.
I've shown
Actually,
progress.
that bad.
I've shown progress from what it was before, because before it used to be really bad.
Mm,
Um, I've had some very very dark moments. We've had, I'll say, because he's been there through the thick and the thin.
yeah, it does.
Just to put it
It
in
is bad when it
perspective.
explodes on its own.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But just to put it in perspective, like we have been together a lot of
Come on in.
years. Oh,
Mm.
to put it in perspective, I just found my vape. It's in my pillowcase somehow. I don't know how the hell it got there. Anyway, it's crazy. But to put it in perspective, the fact that like I didn't know that I didn't know that I had mental health issues when we got together. So this is something that like has been diagnosed since like we've been together for
14
a
years.
hundred, yeah, 14, a lot of years, yeah, 14. And so it was new, like it was new to us. So all of this has been discovered, and he's been there for the ride. His mental health issues of like things that he suffered from, I've been there for the ride. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
journey that we have truly been walking together, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
for the faint
Mm-hmm.
at heart. And sometimes it's been really ugly, sometimes it's been real scary. And um I think over each hurdle, though, we get better and we learn
Yeah.
something from it, and we do something differently, even if it's just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different. Each time we do something a
And
little different.
for us, we kind of figured out that it's no one size fits all,
Right.
and when it comes to mental health and stuff. So
Right.
and then again, it's no one fix for mental health either. So
Right.
like, you may get a therapist, and this therapist may suggest this and stuff like that. You gotta try it out. You gotta give it its opportunity, but at the same time, it could make it worse.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what
we
I'm
it
saying?
has. It
So,
has.
it's just being attentive on that, and you really need a support
Yeah, I've
team
had,
to,
like I've had them change my medication to where literally, like I was suicidal and homicidal,
yeah,
like
that
literally suicidal and homicidal, and
yeah.
I would go to the doctor and say, okay, this I think it's this medicine, and the doctor just steady kept on
Yeah,
upping my
and
dose,
I had
and
to
it became
like step
extremely,
in and be like, "Yo, this the last night you taking that shit. There,
yeah.
that shit is over with." And like, well, what if I don't give a fuck? What if
Yeah, so
that
I've
shit
had
is
to come
over
all
with?
the
You
way
ain't
off
taking
and
that
just
no
be
more.
left to my own devices, which are
You
not
know what I'm
good
saying?
either. But it was better than the alternative because we could have all been, unfortunately, like there could have been a time that I took my whole family out because the doctors weren't listening to me when I was telling them what was
Yeah.
happening. They just kept on
So
increasing what I was telling them was the problem.
yeah, sharing with y'all some real life stuff, just to let you know that, in the pursuit of your own mental health,
And so,
you
of course,
know,
I had to
you
change
gonna
doctors.
find you gonna find medicine that don't work. You gonna find doctors that
But
don't
the
work.
main thing is you
You
find
know what I'm
medicine that don't
saying?
work, but when you find the medicine that don't work, you want the doctor that listens to you.
Yeah,
Like
right.
you and like my doctors now, like they know that I'm very in tune with my mental health and what's worked before and what hasn't worked and why it hasn't or why it did. And so they tend to listen to me and they
Mm-hmm.
tend to, do what I'm asking them to do because they trust in what I'm saying because I have all these records to back it up.
Right.
But having doctors that think that they know better and that you're just a crazy person so they know better and that you take it their way because this is going to
Yeah,
solve
right.
everything really could be very detrimental. And if something would have happened to myself or to my family, I would have been in court and they would have said, "Oh, she was in her right mind. She was fine." Like
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. They wouldn't have considered the fact that I was begging this doctor and telling this doctor that this was not like this before and it's like that now, and the doctor is just telling me, "No, just you just need to increase it. You need to
Yeah.
increase it." And I knew I had to change doctors, and I'm
Yeah.
not a doctor hopper. I like to find the
Yeah.
doctors that work for me. I like to stay with them, but that was a time where I knew it
Yeah.
was time to change and
Yeah,
to.
very, very real, very scary time for us. And but it's a time that, I think that's an experience that we should share with everybody because, in the pursuit of getting yourself better and finding what you need for your own mental health, you're gonna go through some changes, man. You're gonna
And
have
you got to
to
be tentative to them. And
gotta be tentative.
if you're not
Yes.
gonna remember them, write them down while they're happening. Write
Write
them
them
down.
down while
So,
they happening.
like at
Facts.
one point in this journey of mine, I used to have like all these random notes all over the house, and some of them would be crazy. It got to a point where one time he told me, "Stop writing stuff. Why are you writing all this crazy stuff down?" I'd be like, "My husband, look," like it would just be crazy stuff that I would think in my mind. But like it was stuff that I needed in order to be able
Yeah.
to go to my doctor and say, "Okay, well, this is what I went through last week. I didn't really grasp the fact that I was going through this, but this is
Yeah.
how I felt in the at this time, this time," and they were able to better help me and better like direct me
Yeah.
in a way because I had some kind of because I didn't have to remember it off the top of my head, so I didn't forget to tell them anything. I
Mm-hmm.
had some kind of tangible proof to show them of what I was going through,
Yeah.
so they were able to be more helpful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's good also to have a doctor that listen to your support team because I've talked
Mhm.
to her doctor, and they've able to hear me out and say that I'm telling them that, hey, this thing right here, this medicine makes her act like this, and
Mhm.
this is not right and exact. I know her to be like this. So this is not what according, this ain't what running the line with who the hell
Mhm.
she is. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And always make sure that when you do start with a new doctor that you sign a release of information and you to your closest person, your closest support system. So in case you are in a crisis, they can call your doctors and
Yeah,
talk to them
yes,
on your
yes,
behalf.
yes.
Because if you don't do that
Yes.
and you're in a
Mm-hmm.
crisis, they'll call them up and they might even say you're not their patient.
Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
might not even
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge the fact that you're their patient because you didn't sign the paper saying it was okay for them to
Right.
release information to them. So whoever your closest support system is, it's
Mm-hmm.
important that you put that on file with your doctor. That way, in case of an emergency, they can actually, they can your support system could call them, and they
Mm-hmm.
can work with them in order to help you
Oh,
out of that
y'all
situation.
gave them some extra jewels.
Yeah,
That
I just
see,
happened to
y'all
think of that.
just got some extra jewels. You ain't even plan on giving y'all that. You know what I mean? That's something that came off the cuff.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about ready to wrap it up though.
Yeah, but we
Mhm.
definitely give us some likes and subscribes, man. The more we build up this channel, the more we'll start going live because we
And
like
if
to
I can
know that
stop
what we
getting sick.
can. Yeah, it's like get sick. Somebody ever been sick, but
A month for different
yeah,
things for a month.
love been sick, but
A
we
month.
definitely appreciate everybody showing up, man. Y'all was in the house tonight, man.
Yeah,
Y'all was attentive to
thank you,
see what was going
Emily.
on.
Thank
Y'all
you,
love.
everybody.
Yeah, we love y'all. We hope y'all travel
We'll talk to you
safe.
soon.
We hope everybody is checking in with their mental health. You know
I'm
what
an
I'm
early bird,
saying?
so I like to go. This is my bedtime, to be honest with y'all, because I'm an
Gonna
early
peep the
bird. He's
imposter
not.
syndrome.
And so we did a good job, I think, bringing the imposter syndrome. I don't
Yeah.
know how you guys are going to apply that to your life, but I hope that you apply that somehow. If the shoe
Mm-hmm.
fits, put it on and face it,
Yeah, for
because
sure,
it'll
for
be
sure.
fruitful. And I think that it'll take you far if you're able to face that shame
Mm-hmm.
and wear it and tackle it with your whole heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
for
think.
sure,
And
for
I
sure.
appreciate you guys so much for showing up and coming in and showing love. I do appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Emily. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll
We
talk to you guys
appreciate it.
soon. Peace and
Peace
blessings.
and blessings. Everybody travel safe. Mm-hmm.